Hello, I'm Mike of New Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. My nose is itchy. Itch, 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 itch. Right. I have gone and stuck my lander prototype on top of my probe spine. There's one of these. Oh, this is the biggest of the decouplers. So that's going to eject the heat shield when I get to that point of the mission. All this is in a fairing, obviously. And down here, I've added a completely rather silly thing. It's just a pivotron and a girder to attach it on, and this is so that I will be able to test. I just want to see how wobbly this all is. So I'll just make a new group and I'll call it test, because that's not actually part of the resource scan deploy. It's already got some. Just going to chuck in some presets. Huh? Oh yes, because it is stupid. There we go. If I delete that, it says, oh no, you might be putting in a completely impossible value. I'd best completely undo all the editing you just did. There we go. I want that to be the default. Alright, just going to save that and going to launch. So this is to see. I mean, the thing that I've done here that I'm not quite sure about is attaching a fairing in the middle of the rocket. I'm used to putting them at the top, where you put the fairing and then generally decoupler, and then you kind of, stick a fairing on top. That I'm used to. But this is a fairing connecting two bits of rocket, so that's fairing in the middle. Okay, so I'll bring up servo control. So everything looks all right now. Wow, you can frame rate very low. So well, isn't that interesting? And isn't everything very slow? I might be stressing my poor computer at this stage, actually. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna break. Not quite. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've discovered that this is quite wobbly. To be perfectly honest, it's like the fairing isn't actually. Well, it looks like the fairing itself, this middle fairing, isn't providing any kind of structural support. Which I suppose is fair. I suppose that's reasonable. So it looks like I'm going to have to do some struts, if I can, between that and that, between the decoupler and the bottom fairing. I'm going to deploy this for no good reason. Essentially to see what. Okay. So interestingly, these aren't too wobbly. The actual satellites aren't too wobbly from the looks of it. I'm going to deploy that one again just because I want to see everything go kaboom! So no actual good reason. Whee! because I wouldn't actually use this. I wouldn't actually deploy that until the rover is ready to use its parachutes. But I'm just making a mess. I'm throwing. Look how slow everything is. Oh, this could be entertaining. But it's looking like I'm going to need some struts from here to here, and I'm hoping, because these are on, you know, on the basically they're on 90 degrees from each other. I should have room to put struts in. Ooh, hey, where's the camera going? I should have room to put struts in on the 45-degree angle. So, like from there up to there, that should be all right. But the fairing itself is quite clearly not providing anything. Well, the other possibility is, in fact, that it's the fairing itself is the only bit that's wobbling, because I'm not seeing a lot of wobble. From here, that joint, I'm not seeing a lot of wobble. It was basically the fairing itself was flopping about. So the other possibility is I want some struts between the actual fairing up here. That looks like yeah. So it looks like it was just the fairing that was wobbling about, not the craft itself, because that looks pretty reasonable. I mean, there's obviously some flex, otherwise it wouldn't still be bouncing. But the flex could be in there. There's obviously some flex going on, I guess. So let's try strutting it up. Strutty strut. I'm beginning to wonder. This is such a big craft. This has got so many bits in it now. It might be more than my poor little PC can cope with. So I'm wondering. I mean, should I be not trying to do everything in one launch simply because my computer can't handle it? Right, what are we going to do? We're going to go to structural, and we're going to find some struts. And we're going to set that to 4R. Because I've got the VAB editor extensions, which enable me to have different symmetries and things like that. Right. So I want the 45-degree mark, which is there basically. That's interesting. I see, it won't let me go further than that, looks like. Should be enough there. Oh, interesting. The fairing is an odd beast, to be perfectly honest. Oh, is that, have I... That's interesting. I don't know what is going on at this point, actually, because it's acting like it's acting like I've added the strut completely, but I have not, and now I can't actually grab the strut, which I'd like to do. I'd like to go get it again. See if I can find it by sticking the face. Oh, I see, it's not actually connected at all. Oh, alright, okay. So I have a sneaking suspicion that the way the fairing... Oh, I see, there's the old one. It never actually turned up. Because that's no at no point. So if I attach it there, it goes green, right? That means it's attached. But if I put it in here, it stays red. So it looks like you can't attach to the fairing base. That's slightly irritating. Well, in that case, we have option 2. Let's go grab that and get rid of it. What do I want? I want that. And I want that to be 4. Ooh. There you go. With the editor extensions, you can go much higher. You're not limited to just 4 or 8. You can go to 10 and 12 and all sorts of mad numbers. Is that going to be enough? I think it is. Yeah, I'll be able to get up from there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. And we'll go up another one. Well, that's not attached to it. Oh, I've not attached that bottom one. Broad ahead. There we go. Oh. Well, make up your mind. Oh, there we go. Okay. Mouse not quite in the right position, therefore didn't work at all. There you go. That makes so much sense. And one more. So, what I'm going to do is realize that I really want to move that whole structure about 45 degrees. Actually no, I think I'm alright. Well, I think I'll also want to, I want to put a lot of struts in it. Put one more on in there. So, strutty struts. So in this case, so I'm going to go from the insides to the outside like this. Oh right, no, I forgot a thing. Which is that I need to have zoomed out to the extent that, or I need to have the mouse such that that fairing isn't in the way. That fairing isn't flaring out. Which is a bit of a problem given I'm going to have to move everything out. Harg. I'm sure there are easy ways of doing this, but I'm not quite sure what they are. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Alright, hopefully just one extra will be enough. Oh dear. There we go. Alright, that should do it. So I'll grab the strut connector, click on there, all the way up to there. There we go. We'll do that down there as well. So that's going to be the top and bottom struts connected. I would still quite like struts from the actual girders themselves onto... Oh, okay, that worked. That's fine. I mean, I would particularly like struts all the way from the top to all the way to the bottom. Now, okay, let's try it this way, because I couldn't connect it from... That'll work, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to test this particular prototype. Yeah, there are interesting things about the VAB. There are things I would like to change, and there's actually a whole bunch of things I want to change. Yeah, because having to go through that kind of palaver in order to test these things. All right, so bring up the IR and give it a. Oh wow, everything wobbles. But not my spaceship. That might be a problem. I mean, those girders aren't there, so I don't care if they. I don't care if these girders wobble. But look, my spaceship is now really rock solid. Look at that. Now, I would obviously, if I deploy this, I'm going to lose a lot of that. Oh Lord, look at my frame rate, or lack thereof. I may be pushing my computer beyond what it's capable of. Because I mean, this is the payload. This is just the payload. I still have to attach this. I still have to attach this to a rocket, right? This still has to go up in the air. So that may well be a very entertaining thing to do. Wibbly wobbly. I'm just going to deploy the fairings for zero good reason. There is no good reason to do this, other than it's vaguely amusing. But look how slow everything's going. Oh my lordy lord. Boom. But that's pretty good. Let's go back to 0. I'm going to test. Let's going to quickly check my deployment. All right, so I've got a bit of wobble now. On my internal things, but not too bad. So I'll probably be keeping both fairings for quite some time. I'll probably be keeping that middle fairing right up until the point where I want to deploy everything. Although, I mean, I could strut up these things. I could put struts between here and here, for example. So long as it's, as long as I'm. Oh, actually that's a point. I can't. Not on these ones. I can on the ones that don't have the infernal robotics. I can do that, no problem there. But they're quite solid. It's really only these ones, and they're quite big. Oh, I think things are going a bit mad. Things are getting worse. Alright, let's break everything. Let's break everything. actually, do I want to go this way? I want to go that way. I suspect I've got so many joints that it's just going to wobble itself to death fairly soon. But that's only, I mean, part of that is because I've got this huge gantry out here, which is actually only for construction purposes. He's going to shake himself to death. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it might survive. So it looks like I'm going to keep that outer fairing. Oh, maybe not. I don't think it's going to be that bad. If I could work out a way of strutting up those things. But I'm also, I don't think I'm going to be doing. Well, actually, if I do keep that inner fairing, I was about to say I could add some struts in. But what I don't like is those struts remain behind, which I don't want on the satellites. Apart from anything else, it may unbalance them, which would not be good. Ooh, that's interesting. I just noticed that those are intersecting with those struts. I'm going to have a think about that. Probably what I want to do is move those by about 45 degrees, so they'll be pointing out this way instead of poking into those when they're deployed, because I don't want them, because when I deploy those, they'll probably immediately intersect with those struts and possibly explode, which, you know, that might be bad. Can I find those? Right, so let's grab that, decouple it. Okay, no, that's not what happened. So that might be fine then. I might just be able to completely ignore that. Obviously it's exploding now because I just dropped it. Do you know what would be a silly thing to do? Is to deploy all of these right now for no good reason at all. Do they not come off? Oh yeah, there we go. That's interesting. I'm not sure that deployed properly. What am I looking at? Oh, this is the rover still. There we go. There we go. We have destroyed. One of the satellites survived. Maybe two of them actually. Anyway. That was completely pointless, but very amusing. Okay, I should probably do a test run. I should probably take that whole thing and chuck it into space and try the deployment and see what happens. But that was going to be for another time. So that was kind of fun. So I think that was pretty much it. That was a reasonably successful test. That told me information I needed. My fairing now doesn't wobble all over the place. The ship itself is much more solid. We are a further step along the way to getting to Eve. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos. Come join us at nearlyenoughdice.com. And we're also on Twitter and Facebook, so search for Nearly Enough Dice on there. And until next time, reach for the stars and add more struts.